Let me try again. Good afternoon, everybody. It's coming. It's coming. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there, right? So this is the graduation of the faculties of education and the faculty of theology. We are absolutely happy to have you here and to celebrate this momentous occasion, this phenomenal achievement with you, and we are going to make sure that we set the stage properly, because many of you have flown in from all over the world. Many of you have driven far, and we have to make sure that we celebrate it in a way that's befitting, right? So, I see many of you are wearing red gowns. I see many of you there in all of your black gowns. You remember those days of frustration? You thought after you've written that chapter, and you thought, this one, I've given it my absolute best. The supervisor is going to be completely blown away, until you saw the comments, right? Until you saw the comments. Remember those evenings when you studied and you crammed and you thought, this is it. I'm going to ace this test or this exam. And you got there, and none of the stuff that you prepared for was in that paper. You remember? And you thought, hey, I'm not going to make this one. And you actually did, because here you are. Here you are. Let's give them a warm round of applause. I see the family and friends and parents are jealous. So, remember those days when they asked you for money and they said it was for books, but it actually wasn't for the books? You remember? Remember those days when they got home and they emptied your refrigerator? Remember your wallets crying? Perhaps today your wallets might be smiling, unless, of course, because in, our very broad and bold vision of wanting to become, by 2040, Africa's leading research-intensive university, we might just encourage them to go for another degree, and another one, and another one. PhD graduates, I know that after this one, life might seem as if, what am I doing? Postgraduate blues, postdoc blues might be biting. You can just enroll for another PhD, right? We welcome it. We welcome it, right? So, we are going to celebrate these graduates in a way that's befitting. I'm going to ask you, to the count of 3, make the absolute loudest noise you've ever made in your life, right? Because we're celebrating here, people. This is a phenomenal moment. We're going to celebrate it, right? So, these are the instructions. I'm going to count down to 3. There's chairs over there. Imagine them to be drums. Beat them as loud and as hard as you can. 2 requests. 1, please don't break the chairs, because we need to use them again. Number 2, please don't sue us, because we will take absolutely no liability for you breaking your fingers. Okay? This is a graduation ceremony, and we're going to make sure that we celebrate it in a way that's proper. Bomama, dizawunicela nililisele on the count of 3. Bafethu kitlo likupa. Akere hebafethu uncela mafleti naponithi chovicho besenithi chovicho, right? So we're going to make this absolutely special. We're going to dance, jump, ululate, shout, cry, sing, roll, everything, right? Anything imaginable that you can think of to celebrate this moment, we're going to do that. I'm going to ask the band to help us with some drums to really usher us into this moment. Are you ready? You don't sound ready. Are you ready? Yes. All right. So, if you are happy to celebrate here with us at Stellenbosch University March graduation 2024, our absolutely amazingly brilliant, smart graduates of the faculties of education and theology, on the count of 3, make the loudest noise you could ever make. On 3, 2, 1, let's go! Wow. Sure, now I feel we are ready for graduation, right? Do you feel that we are at a graduation? I can't hear you. Do you feel we're at a graduation? Just because I can't hear you, let's do it again one last time on 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Wonderful. Yes, now I feel we are ready. You may be seated. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to try again because I assume you are very much present and alive here now. So, good afternoon everyone. Hartlik welkom aan elkeen van u by hierdie maartgrade plegtighede van die Universiteit Stellenbosch. My naam is Bantu en ek doen die aankondigings voor ons amptelik begin met die seremonie. Baie dankie vir die aandag. Molweni. Namkelekile nonke kulo msitho wothwaliso sidanga lwale University yase Stellenbosch. Ayikokuqala komsitho oku. Ndimanje kukwenza izaziso ezimbalwa phambi kokuba kuqalwe ngokusemthethweni. Enkosi ngokuniboleka indlebe zenu. Good afternoon, everybody. You sound pop again. Good afternoon, everybody. Ewe. Welcome to this March graduation ceremony of University of Stellenbosch in the faculties of Education and Theology. My name is Bantu, and I kindly request your attention as I share a few important announcements before the official start of the ceremony. The toilet facilities are here behind us, and you can get there by first exiting the hall and then entering from the side. All toilet entrances are clearly marked. We also have medical assistance available behind the stage. If you need help, please do not hesitate to approach any of the ushers. Any lost and found items can be handed in at the information kiosk in front of this venue. If you have lost something, you are welcome to inquire there. In the event of an emergency evacuation of this venue, please proceed calmly to the exit closest to you and congregate on the rugby fields between the Dani Craven Stadium and this hall, and that is to my left-hand side. We ask that you please follow the instructions of the city officer and campus security staff. For all our Muslim graduates, guests, family, and friends, a prayer room is available behind this venue in the Sports Sciences building. Should you wish to make use of this prayer venue, please go to one of the ushers and they will guide you accordingly. Now you will agree with me that we have had some phenomenal entertainment. We have had some world-class music here, getting us going and getting us starting for this amazing celebration. So help me as I introduce them to you in celebrating here and appreciating our wonderful musicians. They are the University of Stellenbosch Symphonic Wind Ensemble, conducted by Pamela Kierman, and the vocalists we have with us is Session Johnson and Jason September. Graduates, guests, and family, please help me in a massive round of appreciation for our musicians. Thank you very much. The presiding officer at this ceremony is the Rector and Vice Chancellor, Professor Wim de Villiers. Graduates, listen carefully. When we get to the awarding of degrees, please walk up to the Dean and hand your announcement card to the official. Then, after your name has been read, walk up to the presiding officer, bow before you proceed for the hooding by the registrar, turn around for acknowledgement by the audience, and then you make your way to the end of the stage. Now, I must just mention, I can see that some small businesses and salons have been making a killing this week, right? The hair is on point, right? The GHDs was working. I'm talking 18-inch, 30-inch weaves. It's looking proper, right? I'm talking nails. I'm talking lashes. The fade is in. It's looking absolutely proper here, right? Small business booming in the country this week, right? So here's a tip that you will appreciate forever in this moment. For all of you with very, very long hair, right? Remember when you get to the presiding officer and you bow, to tuck your hair behind your left ear. Because the photographers over there want to capture that exact moment when we make it official, when you bag that degree, right? So remember it, put the hair behind the left ear so that the photo comes out, in the words of some of the politicians, rasmatas. Right? So I'll give you that instruction again, very quick. When we get to the awarding of degrees, please walk up to the dean and hand your announcement card to the official. Then, after your name has been read, walk up to the presiding officer, bow with those hair tucked behind the left ear, and then you proceed to the hooding by the registrar, acknowledgement by the audience before you make your way off to the end of the stage. Members of the audience are welcome to take photographs. We ask that you please switch off your sound and your flash and do so for the duration of the ceremony. Each and every graduate, and I think you'll agree with me on this one, each and every graduate deserves their big moment. Therefore, we kindly request that you do not leave the hall before the whole ceremony has been concluded. Because at this university, our motto is forward together. I'm hoping that now that I've gotten you into the mood and those hands are warm and the blood is running through your veins nicely, that you're going to cheer and celebrate every single graduate year, right? I want to hear those ululations. I want to hear those hala. I want to make sure that we celebrate each and every one of them in acknowledgement for not only their amazing achievement, but for their drive, their determination, and really the fact that they finally made it here, right? And so once the procession has left, at the end of the ceremony, we request that you exit the hall swiftly so that cleaning and preparation for the next ceremony may commence as soon as possible. That line is in the script. There is no other ceremony. This is the last one, right? So you can stay a little bit longer, you can cheer louder, you can dance, you can ululate, you can roll on the floor, you can make a big party out of this one, yeah? We ask that you please take along any waste items such as water bottles, tissues, etc., and dispose of these safely in the bins outside. The official photographers have set up a studio in the sports science building behind this hall. That is to my right-hand side. Graduates and their family and friends are welcome to make use of this service and capture this moment with some professional photos. Also be on the lookout for the Marty Shop mobile unit so you can purchase Stellenbosch University branded items, not only to remind you of the successful academic journey that we're celebrating here today, but also because after we lost the first game, the Maroon Machine Marty first rugby team have been unbeaten so far. And if we keep going, we might just get a home final. And we might just need all of you in your Stellenbosch University branded items to fill up the Dani Craven Stadium as we try and see if we can win the Varsity Cup this year. Are you ready for that? Wonderful, wonderful. And at the end of the ceremony, we invite you to our brand new alumni clubhouse at the Stal to celebrate your achievements with a glass of bubbly as the new members of our global network of Marty's alumni across the world with over 42 alumni chapters. You would have seen we've gifted you with a little alumni pin. Wear it with pride as a sign that you are a Marty graduate. Wherever you are in the world, you might find yourself in an interview panel, you might find yourself in Los Angeles looking for affordable accommodation, and somebody might recognize that pin, and it might just open a world of opportunities for you. So please, when you are done with graduation, please come to your new home, the Marty's Alumni Clubhouse at the Stal, that is between this venue and the Dani Craven Stadium, to come and join us for a glass of bubbly and the alumni toast as we welcome you home to your new family of a global network of Marty's alumni. In adherence to the university's sustainability principles and to foster responsible resource usage, each graduate has been provided with one graduation publication. All guests, family, and friends would have received a QR code that can be scanned, and it will take you to the online version of the graduation publication. Please click on the link that says 25 to 28 March to receive the full program of this event. Here's a piece of good news. We know many of you would have loved to have family and friends here, but unfortunately, they couldn't make it. But of course, we do not want to leave anybody behind, and therefore, it's our biggest privilege to share with you that this ceremony can be followed live via live streaming. So your family and friends can watch you cross the stage. They can celebrate you from all over the world. And I'll share that link with you, but I have one other special request. Remember those haters, those detractors, those naysayers, those ones that said you wouldn't make it here today? Also share the link with them to just inflict, some pain. Make sure you share it even with them. That link is www.sun.ac.za/streaming. You are welcome to share your graduation experiences on social media, and we invite you to share those with us so we can celebrate with you and tag us in it. The hashtag to use is #SUGrad. Ons is bykans gereed om die plegtigheid te begin. Ons vra dat u sal opstaan vir die akademiese prosesie en sal bly staan tot nadat ons die nasionale lied gesing het. Lixesha lokuba kuqalwe ngomsitho. Sicela wonke umuntu aphakame ngexesha kungena isithwalandwe eholweni. Sime njalo ukuze kuculwe umhobe wesizwe. Distinguished guests, family, friends, the moment of truth has arrived. Please rise for the academic procession and remain standing until after we have sung the national anthem. Thank you very much. Enkosi kakhulu. Baie dankie en geniet dit.
Good afternoon, everyone. We will begin the proceedings by singing the South African national anthem. Goeiemiddag aan die almal. Ons begin die verrigtinge deur Suid-Afrika se nasionale lied te sing.
Go see, sing to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land.
Thank you. You may be seated. U mag maar uw plekke inneem. So you've had some wonderful entertainment from our musicians, right? Correct? I was listening to them at the back there as well while we were waiting, and I heard Summertime. It was just wonderful. And we're here on a beautiful autumn afternoon in Stellenbosch. What a great place to be. What a wonderful occasion. So we've heard Stellenbosch University Symphonic Wind Ensemble, conducted by Pamela Kierman, Richard Kuhn, and Stuart Martin, and a stirring rendition of our national anthem by vocalist Jason September. This is their last appearance for this week, so let's give them another round of applause before we leave. Hiermee verklaar ek hierdie kongregasie van die Universiteit Stellenbosch behoorlik gekonstitueer. I hereby declare this congregation of Stellenbosch University duly constituted. If I don't say those words, none of these degrees today count. So it will now be valid. Friends, at the start of this graduation ceremony, we as an academic community, parents, partners, family, and friends are deeply grateful for the privilege to be here today to celebrate our graduates' success. And to this end, I invite you all to remain seated while we observe a devotional moment, granting each other the space to do so according to our various secular and religious perspectives. Ek nooi u daarom uit om net so te bly sit terwyl ons vir 'n gewyde oomblik stil word. Elkeen in ons eie ruimte van verskillende sekulêre en godsdienstige lewensbeskouings. Baie dankie. Thank you en kos kakulu. So baie hartlik welkom by die laaste van 11 grade plegtighede van die Universiteit Stellenbosch wat hierdie week op ons Stellenbosch kampus plaasvind. Ek hoop jy sal dit baie geniet. Redelike klein gehoor hierso, so ons het baie lawaai nodig. I expect a lot of noise. We've got a small intimate audience, so let's really get into it. A very warm welcome to the last of 11 graduation ceremonies scheduled this week on our Stellenbosch campus. We extend a very warm welcome to representatives from the SRC, both the Executive Committee and also the members on the Senate and Council who are representing students. And firstly, it's the chairperson, Ms. Piwo Kuchlet Kabaka, the vice chairperson, Abongili Kotu, Mr. Regan Johnson, and Mr. Mzwake Bolotina. I need to say they've religiously, it's an apt word to use this afternoon, attended these ceremonies throughout the week, so much appreciated, much appreciated. In addition to all of us present here, we also have online guests who have joined the proceedings via live streaming over the internet. So I'm Wim de Villiers, I'm the Rector and Vice Chancellor of Stellenbosch University. I've now reaching the end of my 9th year as Rector, having started on the 1st of April, April Fool's Day on 2015. On my left-hand side is Professor Sibusiso Moyo, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation and Postgraduate Studies. And then we have the Dean of Education, Professor Mbulangeni Madiba, who will be doing some of the name reading today. We also have the Acting Vice Dean of Teaching and Learning, Professor Nkandla Mpofu, the Dean of Theology, Professor Reginald Nell, and very importantly, the Registrar to my right here, Dr. Ronel Retief, who is responsible for the academic administration of the university and ably assisted by the Deputy Registrar for Stellenbosch campus, Mr. Ashmond Daniels. Here at Stellenbosch University, we believe that multilingualism is an asset. And in that spirit, I request Dr. Congratulatory to direct a few words of welcome in isiXhosa.
Ngonyela. Manene namanenekazi. Bambi benu bacande amathafa, bawela induli nentaba. Bathambeka imiwewe, amaxethuka, amaqaqa, ukuze bazokuba inxalenye yethu namhlanje. Ngoko ke singaba senzinyala xa singenakuthi khululani ibhatyi zenu, zolani, zinzani, nibeke ibhekile namkelekile nonke. Enkosi.
Thank you very much, Dr. Congratulatory, and he is in our Faculty of Education. So, to all the graduates, welcome and congratulations. Let's have a cheer to start off with, just warming it up. Congratulations on your remarkable achievement. Graduating from a strenuous academic program like you've done requires dedication, hard work, perseverance, some tears at times. Is that correct? I see some nods. Good, okay. But therefore, you can be very proud of your achievements and the commitment you've shown to your education. So today we're celebrating the achievements of the faculties of theology and education. So for the 2023 academic year, for the two graduation ceremonies in December 2023 and now in March 2024, we have 135 students graduating from theology and 606 from education. And you form part of the total of 8,870 graduates from Stellenbosch University as a whole in the academic year 2023. I think theology, both faculties can be very proud of their graduates, but I think theology is very proud today because they match their previous record of doctoral graduates from 2012 with 22 in total, 22 for academic year 23. That's a great achievement. So as graduates from both faculties, you fulfill a very important function in society. And you're equipped to play very positive roles in society and to advocate for justice and peace and to educate our young children and learners. And we're very proud of your achievement. And we really wish you the best in your future endeavors. And what I wish you and what we wish you is that you will always, in whatever you do, experience a profound sense of purpose. Because I believe you're equipped to do that, and you're certainly well able to fulfill that, and we look forward to what you will achieve. So ek sal nou aan die kandidaate wat aan my voorgestel word die onderskeie kwalifikasies verleen. I will now confer on the candidates who are presented to me the respective qualifications. But I need to tell you this before I start doing that. So earlier today at 1 o'clock, at the 1 o'clock ceremony, I challenged a group of graduates to, because this space here, when your name's read, here, this is yours for that period of time. So I challenged a group of graduates that they need to, maybe a little bit of a dance, or a little bit of that. I didn't get a lot. Why not? They were engineers. So let's see what we can come up with. So, Mr. Dean.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer on the candidates whom I will present to you the degree Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Education. The supervisor concerned will give a brief outline of the dissertation. Shannon Bishop Swart, with a dissertation, a study of teacher emotions in a unique online learning environment due to a pandemic lockdown. Supervision provided by Professor Jonathan Johnson.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, this is a study on the regulation of teacher emotions in online environments during the pandemic. Using a mixed method study, the researcher documents the unique coping strategies deployed by teachers, such as digital communities of practice, and tests their validity against rival theories concerned with teachers and emotions. Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree on Shannon Bishop Swart.
Deirdre Wilma Forbes, with dissertation, exploring the effects of a communicative form-focused teaching approach on the grammatical accuracy levels of English first additional language learners in the FET band. Supervision provided by Professor Christa van der Walt.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, this action research study explores the effect of form-focused communicative grammar instruction compared to traditional present practice produce approaches. A comparison of data from before and after the intervention indicates that form-focused communicative grammar instruction results in lasting improvement for the research group's mean test scores, whereas the control group showed no improvement. I ask that you confer the degree on Deirdre Forbes.
Suzanne Angelica Maria Singh, with dissertation, teacher and high school learners experience of diversity program. Supervision provided by Professor Lona Dreyer.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, the candidate reconceptualizes the significance of schools as shaping force in society. She argues that participation in a diversity program can create and promote structured opportunities for authentic interracial and intercultural interaction. She developed a model of practice and argued its value to effect change in pursuit of social justice. I request that you confer the degree on Suzanne Angelique Maria Singh.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer on the candidates whom I'll present to you the degree Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Theology. The supervisor concerned will give a brief outline of the dissertation. Meneer die Visie-Kanselier Ek versoek u om die graad dokter in die wysbegeerte in die fakulteit Theologie aan die kandidaate wat ek aan u voorstel te verleen. Die betrokke promotor sal telkens 'n verklaring oor die proefskrif doen. Motuma Badasa Amante, with dissertation, The Role of Genealogies in the Antiquities of the Jews and the Gospel of Matthew, a comparative study, and supervision provided by Professor Marius Nel.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this study explored how genealogical material in the Gospel of Matthew and in Josephus' Antiquities of the Jews shaped the identity of religious and ethnic communities in the historical context. After analyzing the use of Old Testament genealogies, it concludes that Matthew emphasizes Jesus' role in God's inclusive redemption plan, while Josephus focuses on constructing Jewish identity around Abraham to gain favor with the Romans. I request you to confer the degree on Motuma Badasa Amante. Congratulations.
Gerbrand Bodenstein, met die proefskrif Die gereformeerde pastoor in die eeu van egtheid. Die studiebegeleiding was voorsien deur Professor Cas Weppener. The supervision provided by Professor Cas Weppener.
Meneer die fisiekanselier, in die laatmoderne era staar verskeie pastors 'n identiteitskrisis in die gesig na mate hulle relevantie afneem. Hierdie studie wys daarop dat die krisis verder strek met betrekking tot die siening van goddelike aksie. Dit stel 'n aktiewe wagbenadering voor wat pastors aanspoor om op God se openbaring in verskeie aspekte van die lewe te wag, wat samelewingsbeskouings oor goddelike aksie uitdaag. Ek versoek dat u die graad aan Gerbrand Bodenstein toeken.
Mawonga Papile Trelesi, with dissertation, Partnership Towards Self-Reliance, the Back to God movement of South Africa as a case study of holistic mission, supervision provided by Prof. Nadine Bowers de Toey.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this study demonstrates the ways in which an indigenous Pentecostal denomination, namely the Assemblies of God, Back to God, is engaging in holistic mission and social development, not as a charitable donor, but rather as a partner together with the poor in enabling them to foster self-reliance in addressing issues of poverty. I request you to confer the degree on Mawonga Papile Trelesi.
Andrew Chisanu, with dissertation The Noah Flood Narrative within the context of the cyclone Idai in Zimbabwe, an exegetical and hermeneutical study of Genesis 6, verses 5 to chapter 9, verse 17, and the supervision was provided by Professor Louis Jonker.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, in this dissertation, the candidate investigates how the lived experience of the devastating cyclone Idai of 2019 influenced the Zimbabwean Christians' understanding of the Noah flood narrative in Genesis 6 to 9. On account of the results of his investigations, the researcher then engages the question how Western and African modes of exegesis can interact to lead to responsible and accountable Bible interpretation. I request hereby that you confer the degree PhD in Old Testament to Mr. Chisangu.
John Gondwe, with dissertation Breaking the Silence, Reproductive Health as a Challenge and Opportunity for Youth Ministry in the Church of Central Africa Presbyterian CCAP, Synod of Livingstonia. The supervision was provided by Professor Anita Klute.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this study points out the overlap between sexual cultural practices and religious views about sex and sexuality, and find that it's primarily females that are adversely affected by these practices. A human rights perspective and a theological understanding of human dignity are utilized to assist churches in developing more effective teaching regarding sex and sexuality. I request you to confer the degree on John Conway.
Crispin Ntenzemu Kamanga, with dissertation, A Pastoral Perspective of the Vimbuza Ritual amongst people suffering from mental illness in the Rumpi district of northern Malawi. The supervision was provided by Professor Christo Tesnar, but the commendatio will be read by Professor Hayden Bowers de Toy.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, against the background of churches ostracizing people involved in Vimbuza ritual ceremonies, this study explores a pastoral care perspective of the Vimbuza ritual performance among people suffering from mental illness in Malawi. Through enculturation, it contributes to the healing and care of people involved in this performance to achieve sustainable mental health healing. I request you to confer the degree on Crispin Ntenzemu Kamanga. Hey.
Ntando Yenkosi, Nomkosi, Nokupiwa, Mlambu, with dissertation, A Theology of Spatial Justice in relation to land in South African history, 1856 to 2020, with reference to 3 South African congregations. Supervision provided by Professor Henny Mbaya.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this study explores a theology of spatial justice using 3 congregations of St. John's Anglican Parish in Cape Town southern suburbs, the Dutch Reformed Church Presbytery in Pretoria, and the Church of the Nazarene in Kailicha as case studies. The historical narratives of these three congregations locate the study in South Africa's history of land conflict and dispossession in the years between 1856 and 2020. It is demonstrated that the lived experiences of the congregations are crucial to developing a hermeneutical lens through which to construct an informed notion of spatial justice for these ecclesial communities. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I request that you confer the degree to Ntando Yenkosi Nomkhosi Nokuphiwa Mlambo.
Stephanus Johannes Nodia, with dissertation telling a different story of privilege and power, an intercultural reading of Ruth in the context of contemporary South Africa, and supervision provided by Professor Louis Jonker.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, in this dissertation, the candidate investigates the transformative potential of the practice of intercultural Bible reading for changing the narrative about privilege and poverty in South Africa. By relating the ancient rhetorical thrust of the book of Ruth analogically to modern-day interpretations of the book, the study concludes that biblical narratives can indeed transform contemporary debates about privilege and poverty in South Africa. Meneer die Visiekanselier, ek versoek dat u die graad PhD in Ou Testament aan Dominee Nodia toeken. I taught him that. That's also John.
Mel Baz O'Malley, with dissertation Unmanned and Unmade, Uncovering Violence, Emasculation and Shame in Nahum 3, supervision provided by Professor Juliana Klaasens.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this study explores the portrayal of sexual violence in the biblical book of Nahum in the context of military sexual trauma. In addition to providing insight into the experience of contemporary warriors, including the loss of identity, shame, and isolation, the rarely discussed consequences of sexual violence against men can be more fully recognized and addressed. I request you to confer the degree on Mary Mel O'Malley.
Andre Herman Pekier, with dissertation in search of congruence between confessional theology and church polity, a discourse, a church judicial inquiry in the light of the reception of the Belhar Confession in the Dutch Reformed family of churches. The supervision provided, and this is his first dissertation, by Dr. Utlega Sipho Maokoto.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this study seeks to find a congruence between confessional theology and church polity discourse by identifying church judicial challenges as to why the Dutch Reformed Church struggles to adopt the Belhar Confession as a confession of faith. The adoption of the Bella Confession and the unity with the Uniting Reformed Church in Southern Africa is possible only if the Dutch Reformed Church General Synod amends the Church Order Article 4.1. I request you to confer the degree, a PhD in Church History and Church Polity, on Andre Herman Bekier.
Rian Reelstein met proefskrif 'n himnologiese praksisteorie vir 'n ekumenies gereformeerde Suid-Afrikaanse kerkmusiekkurrikulum vir opleidingsgebruik binne die Nederduits Gereformeerde Kerk in Suid-Afrika. Die begeleiding was verskaf deur professor Cas Weppener.
Meneer die fisiekanselier, in die Suid-Afrikaanse ekumenies gereformeerde konteks bestaan tans geen praktykgerigte kerkmusiekkurrikulum wat op die opleiding van himnoloog fokus nie. Verskillende peilings is himnologies ondersoek: eklesiologies, teologies, musikologies en kurrikulêr. Deur middel en as produk van interferensie vorm dit 'n kontekstueel aanpasbare praksisteorie. Die bevinding is 'n komplementêr geïntegreerde benadering as kurrikulêre voorvereiste. Ek versoek dat u die graad aan Rian Stein toeken.
David Ross van Groeningen, with dissertation, Luke's use of Abram as a social identity marker in Luke Acts. Supervision provided by Professor Marius Nel.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, this study investigated references to Abraham as a social identity marker in the Gospel of Luke and the Acts of Apostles. It determined that it is used to redefine a new social group that includes Gentiles while emphasizing its continuity with Judaism. This analysis sheds new light on the relationship between Jews and Gentiles in the early church. I request that you confer the degree on David Ross van Groeningen.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the following qualifications in the Faculty of Education. The first qualification is a Master's of Education in Educational Psychology. Nicola Bassett, cum laude. Sandy Valentina Diaz. Jean Rebrand Duplessis. Anne Fleischek Thompson, cum laude. Renee Kidd, cum laude. Zola Pamel Menzi Kotani. Madeline Swart. Renee van Skatwijk. Aida Webena. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received Masters of Education. Theo Adams. Ms. Zain Marie Els will be hooded by her mother, Ms. Suzette Els. I don't know if is she here? She's there, she's waiting. Okay. So it's, okay. Yolanda Gani, cum laude. Gianni Alex Gerber. Leanne Lizanne Golaya, cum laude. Tahira Jeffa Solomon. Koketso Peter Tanki Kule. Zumasa Matomela. Jessica Jane McCovey. Carla Monica Mula. Gabby Potter. Paul Christian Skuman. Sherry Tintinger. Shante Chanel Wagi. Kieran Nicole Wagner. Lorraine Lasey Watson. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received Bachelor of Education honors in Education Development and Democracy. Tulelen Samantha Malinga. For Bachelor of Education honors in Foundation Phase Teaching, Carla Bauer. Zianda Zikakambile Lalenge. Sipokazi Makutu. For Bachelor of Education honors in Curriculum Inquiry, Yonela Maenjana. Tabiso Manelisi Nkize. Maskole Piwo Kuhle Njela. Babalwa Nomachaka. Odwa Oswa. Lizanne Caroline van der Weesden. For Bachelor of Education Honors in Language Education, Torah Christians. Daniela Krieger. Kotha Nordin. For postgraduate certificate in education in further education and training teaching, Marshalee Adams. Zoe Martin Bosman, cum laude. Shantine Elson. Yulan Jade Lamere. Kyla Lynn, cum laude. Happiness Matukeng, Mapufukeng. Yeah, okay. It's written wrong. Mongezi Mchunu. Yeah. Pumelele Nkomozake. Nisesipho Pokela. Michael John Rotterink, cum laude. For Bachelor of Education in Foundation Phase Teaching, Gabriela Ludik. Emma Swart, cum laude. For Bachelor of Education in Intermediate Phase Teaching, Inga Di Ghana. Ketan Ruel Fortain. Nkosisifikile Witness Mlindi. For Advanced Diploma in Education in FET Life Sciences Teaching, Kidiboni Velmina Huevane. Dimakato Grace Lehova. Muraro Diana Madzibe. Evelyn Meiki Tuhi. Irene Tena, cum laude.
Magister in Theologie, Master of Theology. Rosemary Bekes. Lindani Gumede. Well done. Petrus Johannes Gysman. Philippa Joy Joseph. Limpo Litlakanyane. Nicholas Paulse. Chanel Platt, cum laude. Tresenia, Mary Ann Heather, September, cum laude. Jacobus Johannes Visser. Andrew Warnar. Sivuyile Stephen Zokoza. The Magister Divinitatis, the Master of Divinity. Petrus Johannes Hanekom, cum laude. Die nagraadse diploma in theologie, die postgraduate diploma in theology. Deborah Adumakwa Abrokwa. Frans Boysen. Wilhelmus Albert Johannes Bowler, cum laude. Gail Leonie Brecht. Annelie Fourie de Leroux. Nokupiwa Katom. Ja. Stefanus Andries Lou. Aludwe Mchani. Baptista Alberto Panda. Sipho Amos Komoyi. Andile Siyengo. Chelsea Jasmine Williams. De baccalaureus in theologie, the Bachelor of Theology. Aiden Lucian Fletcher. There you go. Shamel Lee Hendriksen. Well done. Tyrone Keenan Carwillis. Vatishwa Mapotlolo. Yeah. Simamkele Mbili. Eloise Bridget Mentor. Sibongile Kelebogile Sizumu. The Baccalaureus Divinitatis, the Bachelor of Divinity. Jürgen Edward Barnard. Baie geluk hoor. Alira Serfontein, cum laude. Baie geluk.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the respective qualifications on those candidates whose names have been presented to you, but those who have not been able to come physically to the occasion in their absence. Thank you.
Ek verleen die onderskeie kwalifikasies aan die kandidaate in hulle afwesigheid. I confer the respective qualifications on the candidates in their absence. So that's the end of the qualifications. It was so much fun, we're going to do it again. Big cheer, come on. You are now part of more than 230,000 other Stellenbosch University alumni whom you'll find all over the globe, all across the globe. So congratulations. We find Stellenbosch University alumni all over, everywhere. And wherever I encounter them, I cannot but be impressed with the significant contribution that they make to our society. Ek kan nie anders stel om so beïndruk te wees met die bydrae wat hulle maak tot ons samelewing nie. So alumni, more and more alumni are staying connected to Stellenbosch University, and that's what I'm trying to encourage you to do by joining alumni chapters all over the world. At the moment, there are 42 and counting. We have about 18 in the country. So from Namibia to Hong Kong, San Francisco to Dubai, from Dublin to Tokyo, and the last 4 over the past 2 months or so from in Harare and Nairobi and Atlanta and Miami. So lots of ways in which Stellenbosch University alumni can connect with the university and with their friends and their networks in meaningful ways. So please, I encourage you to stay in touch. And I really want to congratulate you with your achievements this afternoon. I'm now going to invite you over to our alumni clubhouse, all of you, to our alumni clubhouse at Die Stal, which is after the ceremony, is just to the left of the rugby stadium, to celebrate your achievements, and you're well deserved, with a glass of bubbly, or juice, but bubbly. So, but I really want to congratulate the parents, the spouses, the family, and the friends with the achievement of your loved one. Lots of support there, emotional, etc. And I think it will be most appropriate for our graduates to acknowledge their support with a hearty round of applause. Ons het nou die einde van die verrigtinge bereik en ek verklaar hierdie kongregasie van die Universiteit Stellenbosch geslote. We've now reached the end of the proceedings and I declare this congregation of Stellenbosch University closed. Please rise and remain standing while the academic procession leaves the stage.